Hello, and welcome everybody to the second episode of Beyond the Schmoedown. I'm Star Wars competitor Andrew Dimalanta.
And I'm Nicki Dimalanta.
And we're season's over for Schmoedown, so what do we have to talk about? Well, there's a lot to talk about. But what we're going to talk about today is since this weekend is the release of The Rise of Skywalker, it seems fitting that we're going to be talking about geek stuff. You know, just nerd stuff. So what we're going to do this weekend, on this episode, we're going to talk closely about the Innergeekdom division and the Star Wars division. Just see, look at the champions, see how they got there, what do we think of the division coming in this next season. Just
was the draft coming up?
Yeah, the draft coming up and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and just dive into Innergeekdom.
So at Innergeekdom, we got Mr. Kevin Smets, and he is the current reigning belt holder for the Innergeekdom.
Knocked out Mike Kalinowski in the Spectacular.
He sure did.
Won the title.
He sure did.
Yeah.
And his singles record in Innergeekdom right now is 6-1.
One loss.
In his rookie season.
And that one loss was to Mike Kalinowski in that number one contender match.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, but yeah, well, let's take a look at how he got there, how Smets came into the league and the division, and then how his rise to the championship was. So, from my understanding, he was a lot like me, and he went through the Patreon audition. But
ended a little different.
And came up short with that, and then Christian turned around and said, well, I'm going to send you to the fan leagues. And apparently he dominated in the fan league division.
Yeah.
So, and then he finally, I can't remember when he came into...
Well, his first match, it looks like, was in February.
Wow, that long ago.
Yeah, well, I mean, according to Wikipedia.
Yeah, the Schmoedown Wikipedia.
It says February 21st, he went against fellow rookie David Moore and won by TKO.
Yeah. And I feel bad for Moore because he I don't think he performed as well as he could have in that match. But again, you're going up against the Smasher, and that's...
but also at the time, it was both of their debut matches, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like he was going up against the Kevin that we all know today.
Oh, yeah.
So it was probably a little different back then.
Yeah, but that first match was like, oh, shit, who is this guy? I was like, wow, I knew we had some really hard hitters in the division with Cushing, Kalinowski, even Hlavik at that point was like, Hlavik was really on his game at that point.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But, David Moore, if I remember correctly, he was just...
he was very
happy to be here.
He was a very good personality. I remember.
He was pleasant.
I'm not sure if he's in the draft.
I don't know if he is.
I think he might be, but it's like because we only saw him one more time after that.
But did Kevin come in with that first match got my hood on, got my mad dog face?
That was his entire persona.
Yeah.
From entering this one, it was like that that chip on his shoulder
Oh yeah, that's true.
He got sent to the fan leagues he wasn't good enough then, and he's like, I'm going to show all of you.
Book you Harloff back.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to show Harloff how wrong he was. I should have been in this division after my audition, but
true.
He and I'll get into this later about this little chip on his shoulder and how I think it's been there, even going into the title match.
Yeah.
So
that could be.
Yeah. So his next match was what?
His next match after that was about a month later against Jay Washington.
Oh, yeah, that was basically a grudge match, though.
Yeah, and Kevin won by KO.
Yeah, and not to, Jay's awesome, but he's just not a good competitor. He's not the best at competing. He's a fantastic manager. He's great on the mic, but I think when it comes to trivia-wise, playing the game, he's just not the best at it because, again, this was more of a grudge match than an actual counting towards your record type of Innergeekdom, because from the storyline was that freaking Kaiser talking all that junk and all that shit online and saying we're gonna take this by storm, give us Navarro next. We want Navarro.
How do you remember this? Jesus,
that's my stupid talent. That's why I'm pretty good at trivia.
Wait, so when Kevin came in and debuted, was he already shacked up with Kaiser?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Kaiser came as his manager. I remember the first time I saw him, I was like, who is this guy?
Oh, my God. I'm like, what the hell is this guy's deal?
Yeah. But they were talking all that smack on And Jay's like, you're coming into my house.
Yeah.
You need to pay respects to the game and don't just start calling like legends out. You need to prove yourself. And he's like, go ahead and take me on it. And I think at this time, Emma was the
Innergeekdom Star Wars commissioner.
Yeah, the Innergeekdom and Teams commissioner at this point. And she's like, all right, guys, stop fucking around online. Stop trash talking. We'll put you in a match together. And that's how this. And again, I said this isn't more. I looked at this more as a grudge match, just like to shut people up. And yeah.
And then bam, KO.
Yeah.
So then after that, they got their wish, and it looks like a couple months later he faced Hector Navarro, the former champ.
Yeah, and at this point, I'm like, all right, this is because those first two, like Moore and Jay, they're like not to like just like talk shit or anything, but they weren't really up for the challenge to go up against Smets because up until this point, Smets hasn't really been tested.
Yeah,
pretty much. And I was like, all right, this is gonna be a really good match for Smets. And then
another KO.
How many points did Navarro get?
I don't know. It doesn't say. It doesn't say on this stupid page. It just says that Kevin won by KO.
Yeah, but I remember like being like shocked, like holy crap, Navarro's better than this.
But it's also like how long had it been since Navarro competed?
It was another thing about like ring rust.
Yeah,
he's been out of it for a while. He lost the belt to who was it? Was it Inman?
No idea.
I think it was Inman.
I don't remember at all. It might have been Inman because he was pretty dominant.
Yeah, it was Inman. Yeah, I think he. Yeah.
We'll have to fact check ourselves later.
Yeah, so if we're wrong, just hit us on Twitter. Say, hey, this is actually who it is, Frankie. Frank will correct me.
Hey, dummies.
Hey, dummies is what it was. But yeah, after Navarro, he faced
Mike Kalinowski. And oh my God, first loss against Mike Kalinowski.
And this was the match that I thought I was going to get with Navarro versus Smets.
Yeah.
But I was a little. This is at Collision.
Yes.
And this is what I was talking about, like his rise, and how that chip on his shoulder is. Mm-hmm. I think you see people that come into this division and this league and they just like blaze straight to the title. People like Mara just straight to the title. The other people are kind of escaping me right now, but like I think this loss is kind of the best thing for him, to be quite honest.
Just kind of fueled the fire. Because like I think he doesn't go on that KO after KO after KO like streak if he makes it directly into the division. Yeah.
Because that Harloff sent him to the family is kind of like, oh shit, that's kind of humbling. Now I'm going to work twice as hard just to get back into it.
Right.
And going in with that mindset changes your game. And I think this loss does the same exact thing for him. Without this loss, he goes up against Rachel, which I'm not sure if he would have been able to beat her. It would have been a really close match.
Yeah.
But I think this loss helps him get back to the title and win the title this time.
But yeah, because it was good because you come into the league and you face David Moore, another rookie.
Yeah.
Which, it's another rookie.
Yeah, and nobody can really judge him. It's like, well,
exactly. You're both new. No one really knows what either of you have to offer. So a TKO is still cool.
Impressive.
Good job.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is another rookie.
Yeah.
And then you face Jay Washington, who, it's another step up, and then you knock him out. Then you face Hector Navarro, a former champion, knock him out. So now you think that you're, not that he thought he was untouchable or whatever, but you're riding high.
You're getting yourself in your head like nobody's going to be able to beat me.
Yeah, like I just knocked out 3 people, and one of them was Hector Navarro.
Yeah.
Like, come at me. But I feel like that loss against Mike was kind of like, hey, let me just, remind you that, you need to focus.
You're not as hot as you think you are.
Yeah, you're not invincible. Mm-hmm. Someone's going to come along and someone's going to find you on a bad day.
Yeah.
So, just to refocus.
And we talked about this in the first episode that my heart broke for him when he said, "Don't tell Peter."
That was this
match.
Oh.
And like, I think that's just a double whammy. Like,
So what was that question?
It was what are I could be wrong, but it's what are Green Goblin's last words to Peter? And the thing that hurt me the most is Peter is in the question.
And his answer
was don't tell Peter.
And the real answer was
don't tell Harry. So like I was like the second he said don't tell Peter, I'm like no. Dude. Not only because I knew the answer to it, it's so Peter is in the question. I'm like, oh my God, what happened? So
it just goes to show that anything can happen to anyone.
Exactly.
No one is invincible. No one's untouchable.
Yeah, and I said it in the last podcast. I'm another example of that. Mm-hmm. So
Like he knew the answer to that question.
Yeah, because the second they said, "Oh, that's wrong," he goes, "Oh no!"
Yeah.
It's
that was pretty upsetting.
But yeah, I think this loss really helped him out because sometimes again he was a trailblazer coming in, and then he gets humbled after this match, and he refocuses himself.
And now he doubles down.
And he doubles down on studying, doubles down on watching movies, and refocuses. Like, all right, I hit a bump. Time to get back up on the horse and go for it.
And a month later, he faces Adam Hlavik.
Yeah, at Comic-Con. It was the undercard at Comic-Con. And
How do you remember that?
I'm telling you, this is my stupid superpower. This is why I'm good at trivia.
I mean, I think I have a pretty decent memory too, but
yeah,
damn.
But so this is the undercard at Comic-Con because the title match, the main event was the title match between Koshing and Kalinowski.
Right.
But this is another one. I'm like, all right, this is gonna be another like tough match for him.
Smets Hlavik.
Yeah,
because Hlavik is no one to underestimate.
Yeah, Hlavik was doing really well in the last couple of matches I seen him. Granted, he hadn't competed in a while. Yeah. But I was like, all right, this is going to be a good match. We're going to have a really good undercard. But then
Smets won by KO.
Another freaking KO. And just like, wow, what's happening to these competitors? Because I think Hlavik only got like 5 questions or 3 questions right. I think in the second round, I think he got hit with Middle Earth.
And it looks like...
No, I think it was... I could be wrong. I think it was Spinner's Choice. And then... this is how good... This again, Smets doubling down and researching his opponent. And he knew... And he watched and he said, yeah, Middle Earth is Hlavik's weakness. Yeah. So he gave him Middle Earth. And he stole a bunch of points and knocked him out. So...
Damn.
Yeah.
And then... A few months passed between that and the next match. That was July, and then he didn't have another match until November, and that was against Chandru.
Yeah, because Chandru's path was a little kind of similar. I think he went. I can't look up his thing, but like he went up against Hannah in a triple threat or something like that.
He faced his first match was actually a fatal 4-way.
Okay.
Him, Chance, Keaton, Markey.
Yes, that's right.
And Brandon Hannah.
Hannah came out on top on that one.
That's right, and Chandru came in third.
Yeah.
Which is surprising.
Yeah.
Very surprising.
But then another example of a guy being humbled, putting his foot to the ground and just going for it, and he gets back to a number 1 contender match against Smets.
Yep. And this was actually Smets' first win that wasn't a knockout or a KO.
Yeah,
knockout or a TKO. Mm-hmm. So he won. It just wasn't by TKO or KO. Mm-hmm. And that put Smets as the number 1 contender for the Schmoedown Spectacular against Mike the Killer Kalinowski.
And we've given our thoughts about this match before in the first episode. And again, I was just completely shocked at how I was just... and you said that you didn't think that Mike was himself that night.
No,
and rewatching,
not at all.
Yeah, rewatching that match, I was like, yeah. I mean, he did for the first couple of questions, but I think after he started missing, it's just started to get away.
It just was a snowball effect.
Yeah, and we said this before the Spectacular. I think that Mike might have gotten to his head because again the loss in Orlando, losing the team titles. Yeah, and Kalinowski had so much to lose in this match.
He did.
Smets had nothing to lose. It's like if I win this match, I'm an IG champ. But if I lose this match, back to square one. Let's go get it next season. Yeah. Kalinowski lost the team's title. If he loses his second belt,
and he gets stripped of all of his belts.
He's an argument for Player of the Year, Innergeekdom Player of the Year, Singles Player of the Year, Team Player of the Year. Yeah. He's up for all these things, but I think he gets knocked down a couple pegs after this loss because a lot of people look at these awards and it's not like what have you done in the season, it's what have you done for me lately.
Yeah, well, because I know for me, somebody who doesn't remember every detail.
It's a long year.
It's a long ass year, and so when you're talking, Innergeekdom Player of the Year, I know for someone like me, like some normie, I'm gonna be like, well, Kevin just won, so obviously Kevin is the player of the year.
Your automatic thought is he's the champ. So
it's the most recent thing I've seen.
Why isn't he the best player ever in Innergeekdom?
But then you forget that there's been this long ass year that's been happening all around us this whole time.
And to be honest, I think Innergeekdom Player of the Year has to go to Kalinowski. I know he doesn't have the championship right now.
Yeah, but
the same year he won it and lost it.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't just because you have the belt doesn't mean that you're the shoe-in to be the winner of of the blank of the year.
And then I know a lot of people will say also what about Rachel? Rachel is my GOAT
as Innergeekdom
Player of the Year. Yeah, she's my GOAT for the entire league.
Yeah,
but When did the Shiro's last match happened? Jesus, a couple months before Orlando. So she didn't play a complete season. I think when I'm voting, you have to factor in the entire season. Mm-hmm. You can't just like, all right, Smets has the IG champ, so he's the IG player of the year.
Yeah, he did the most recent thing.
Yeah, he did the most recent thing and he has the title. It's like, well, no, you got to factor in the entire season. And Rachel didn't play a complete season.
It's true.
So, and in past, people that haven't played complete seasons have won before, because Levine won player of the year because he had the singles and the team title at the same time, the first to ever do that. But then halfway or almost past halfway through the season, he retires and vacates the belts.
Well, and by that logic, that means Kalinowski should get the player of the year.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he held 2 belts at one time too.
Yeah, and he's in the argument for player of the year.
But then so did Rachel, didn't she?
Rachel held two.
She was teams and Innergeekdom.
Yeah, but again, the argument for me for that one, and again, she didn't play a complete season, because it's one thing to do all that in one season, but to do it through the entirety of the season, keep going through the entirety of the season. Again, this is a mental sport, and
it's tiring. Obviously.
Yeah. So, but so just looking forward to what the division holds, because obviously the first match that's going to open the season for 2020 in the Schmoedown is the New York Brooklyn event. Undercard is Andrew Guy versus
Robert Meyer
Burnett, which is ridiculous.
That's going to be great. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a grudge match. I mean, Guy is going to demolish him. And
well, at least we hope.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, it's because of the stipulation that got the Guy and Bateman match in Houston.
Oh, yeah.
If Guy would have won, Bateman wouldn't have been able to compete in any of the tournaments.
Right.
If Bateman wins, he gets to choose Guy's next opponent.
Oh, right.
And singles opponent, not teams, but singles. And he's like, and I think I remember him talking to him backstage. He's like, I want to give him a gift. Since he's come back and he thinks Burnett just turned his back on him and betrayed him, he's like, I'm going to give him Burnett. So it's the undercard for the year. I'm like, this is ridiculous, but okay. It's a story grudge match.
It's gonna be. Can you imagine how much yelling there's gonna be? It's gonna be fantastic.
Oh my god! I'm really hoping. I told this to you after watching Rise of Skywalker, that the planet. Who is it? Navarro. What was it?
Oh, there was something named Navarro.
Navarro.
I don't remember what it was.
It's one of the planets. I think it's a planet in the new movie. Again, this is one of the things I got to brush up on, but like, I want that to be that kind of question asked, and then when I answer, I want to hold up my board and just yell, Navarro! just true Robert Burnett fashion. So it'd be so funny. But anyways, that's gonna be a lot of yelling.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's gonna be more. This match is more for story.
2 of the biggest shit talkers in the league. Yeah. It's gonna be great.
Guy
is, I think, a lock in to win.
Yeah,
but you never know. Weird shit's happened.
Weird shit has happened. We've seen JTE get beaten by a Olympic swimmer.
Oh my god!
I think that's technically a celebrity match, but
it still happened.
We've seen Josh McCouga beat JTE. Anything can happen in the Schmoedown. That was, oh my god, that was one of JTE's worst seasons.
Yeah,
and we haven't even seen him.
Josh.
Josh.
Well, I mean, didn't he?
JTE, not Josh.
Oh, JTE.
We've seen McCouga.
Well, JTE had that car accident.
But he came back, but then he got reunited with
Lon.
And they were supposed to be in the tournament together.
Then he kind of faded away again.
And then he just left again. I have no idea what's going on.
I wonder if he's going to be in the draft.
He might be. I mean, it'd be foolish for nobody not to pick him.
Yeah. Well, he's obviously an incredibly strong competitor.
Oh, yeah. You'd have to, like, ask him first.
And there's a rule named after him in the league. He has to still be in it.
But looking forward to the draft, though, like, we're obviously Smets is a lock. He's locked at Kaiser's first pick.
Right, of course.
Which, Kaiser picks 5th in the draft order. So we already know his first pick. So now we need to know who he's going to draft next.
As far as Innergeekdom goes?
Yeah, let's keep it to Innergeekdom because we're talking about the Innergeekdom division. But so where do we think, because the Innergeekdom is stacked next season.
It is.
With, we have the IG champ, Smets, Kalinowski, Mara,
Chandru, Brandon,
Hannah.
Halavic might come back.
Hlavik. I think Hlavik will come back.
Maybe Navarro. Who knows?
I'm not sure. I think Navarro's a little busy. You follow him on Twitter. He's constantly doing something. In the space.
And then you got Dan Murrell, who will be making his foray.
That makes the division so interesting because even if his geekdom knowledge isn't as broad as some of the competitors, he knows the game so well, and his stablemate is the current singles champ, the best strategic player in the entire Schmoedown, and he can help him out as well. So
Absolutely.
You don't underestimate a legend like Dan Murrell in any division. If he came for the Star Wars division, I'd be like, okay, he probably doesn't know as much as the rest of us.
Yeah.
But I still am not going to overlook him because of how good he is. But I think in the Star Wars division, I think strategy matters the least.
Yeah,
and we'll get into that a little bit later when we talk about Star Wars division. But who do you think will be the first Innergeekdom player to be taken in the draft?
Well, I mean, you can't really factor Kalinowski into this, right? Because he's already tied to corruption.
His team is protected, but he's not a protected player.
So that means that if somebody drafts Kalinowski, it just means that they also get a chance.
Yeah. So
okay. I probably would say Mike is probably going to be the first person to get drafted.
That's a fair point.
I mean, how could he not? He was the reigning champ for a considerable amount of time.
Mm-hmm. And I think, who is it? Shannon picked 7th.
Ooh, yeah.
So the draft order is Sam Levine, Jay Washington, Roxy Stryer, Koi Jandrew, Kaiser, Dagnino, Shannon, Winston Marshall, Emma Fife, and Burnett picks last. If you didn't watch backstage this past week, you have no idea what the shenanigans were for this.
Yeah, the controversy.
Because they started the pick names out of the hat, but Hardluff realized, oh shit, I don't have Roxy Strier's name in the hat. Oh my god.
Whoops.
So they had to redraw, and Winston went all the way from first pick to the 8th pick.
That sucks.
And I think Kaiser was in the best situation because I think he went from 4th to 5th. So he's fine. But his first pick was protected anyways. Yes, Shannon's not going to be picking to the 7th pick in the first round. So there's a chance that Kalinowski might get stolen. But
it's a very good
he
probability.
can always demand a trade. So you got to factor that in. But I think after Kalinowski, I would argue that
I feel like
I think Chandru would have to go next.
That was going to be my gut too, because like we were saying before, it's kind of like, well, we're simple beings. We I'm like a goldfish. Whatever happened the most recently, that's what I'm going to remember.
Recently,
yeah. Like Hlavik hasn't been around much. Chandru, he's been around more.
And my argument to that is, you don't draft players for what they've done immediately in the past. You know what I mean?
Just overall picture.
You look at overall picture. You draft players for potential.
Yeah. And
I think Chandru is has a very good chance of getting back to that title shot.
Chandru and Brandon are probably two dark horses in Innergeekdom.
I think Hannah would probably be somebody that you can draft in a later round and get high value for.
Yes.
Because, again, he beat Chandru, who Chandru went to a number 1 contender match. So you got to look at it that way. And also, you also have to look at a way that is somebody that you can manage and give and fill in some of the blanks that they've been suffering on.
Yeah.
So, because, I'm a prime example of that. If Star Wars competitors are going to go very late. Because they're televising 6 picks. And the managers have until the weekend to fill their last 2 spots because it's going to be 8. Instead of 10, he narrowed down, instead of 10 players, it's now going to be 8 players.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
So I doubt that any of us are going to go, or any of Star Wars competitors are going to get picked while they're being televised, quote unquote.
Probably not.
If not, Alex will probably be the only one that's televised, unless Kaiser wants to take me higher in his order. But I think he wants to. He already has his IG player with Smets. He almost has to take Oyama. I think he drops Zipper.
I honestly think
he might. And then I think he's going to go for 2 other team players. Yeah. Because I think Oyama's better suited for the singles division than he is in a team's division.
Well, I mean, yes, but also I think that he just no offense or anything. I just think he needs a different teammate than Eric.
Zipper needs...
Zipper actually, with Oyama and under Kaiser's management,
It's
that
a
was
good
the
team.
best we've seen Zipper.
It's a good team.
It was an all right team, but Zipper performed the best that we've ever seen under Kaiser and with Oyama. So that's something to be said for, you know,
so
having
I think,
a good manager.
I think for Kaiser, because again, I think we're pretty 90% sure that Kaiser's gonna draft me. It's just a matter of
we are hoping.
We're hoping. But you know, I've talked to Smets, I've talked to him, I've talked to other managers too, just reminding them that hey, I'm here too. Don't overlook my record because the records mean absolutely nothing in Star Wars. The Star Wars
More or
division,
less,
because the division is so tiny, and we'll
And matches are infrequent.
yeah, matches are infrequent. So it's a matter of where Kaiser wants to pick up a Star Wars player if he does draft me, because I think he's gonna go his normal division, at least because he's got his IG competitor locked, and then once he's got his roster filled up, then he'll dip into his toes into Star Wars.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Well, and also we're it's like embarrassing that we haven't even mentioned Dan Murrell. He's definitely going to get drafted.
Well,
and
no,
Mara.
he's locked though because he has the team's title and all champions are protected.
Oh,
so
I'm the idiot.
You don't have to worry about. So again, Dagnito is the favorite going into his team's the favorite going into the season because he has the singles champ. He's got the team champs. He already has an IG player because Dan Murrell is announced to go in IG, and he's got another singles / team player in Riley.
Yeah.
Because now that Bateman is locked, he automatically is a lock with Riley. So he has 4 competitors. He doesn't have to pick to the 5th round, and he has a steal.
Yeah. And also, somebody's going to obviously draft Mara because she's, number
I
one
can
contender.
see. Where do you think Mara will go? That's a good question. Let's look at all of like the IG players and see where you think they fit the best. Now, who do you think will draft them? Well, yeah, we'll see who you think will draft them, and where do you think they will go?
Oh, God.
Or where do you think they will fit best?
Should have written down all the managers.
Oh, here they are. I got a screen cap. There you go.
So, if we're looking at Mara, I feel like I could see Roxy taking Mara because I could see it being like, girl power kind of thing. I could see Roxy taking Mara. Maybe Dagnino because he's got Merle already.
I don't see him not wasting, but like he already has an IG competitor. It doesn't make sense to have two. Aside from like a singles division, it doesn't make sense to have 2 competitors in the same division.
True.
Because then you're almost actually no, that'd be a really smart move though, because you're almost guaranteeing points in that type of match. You know what I mean?
Well, because you're getting more points for Innergeekdom wins.
Yeah, and that would be very interesting. So say Mara does go to the Finstock Exchange. And both of them are gonna they're gonna be dominant in that division. So now you're just racking up the points, and then once they go head to head at some point, you're automatically getting those points.
Yeah,
because both of that's a very smart. Now that I think about that is actually a smart move to get 2 players in the specialty division.
There's no way to lose points.
I don't think
there?
so. You just win points from other wins.
Like in fantasy football, you don't lose points for anything, right? Unless you score on yourself or something.
Yeah, fantasy football negative plays give you negative points.
I wonder if there's anything like a negative play in the Schmoedown.
I don't think there's a difference. But
actually, I have an idea of a negative play. I feel like you lose points if you manage Atchity when he was like, challenge that win.
No, I can see points being taken away as punishment. So like some kind
if you say fuck and stuff,
something like
maybe?
that. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe not.
Not that, because I remember them talking about like for swearing they'll take away like repeats or challenges
or second spins on the second round.
Yeah, for second spins, second round or something like that. But I think like if you tackle somebody through a table or
so guys getting all the negative points.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that, some kind of infraction, or like Mukuga wiping his ass with the belt and throwing it on the ground. That should be a couple points taken away.
Yeah.
Just things like that. I can see that, but I don't think there's anything that can negatively affect your point pool.
I don't think so. So yeah, with Mara, I don't know. I feel like I could see Roxy taking her.
Roxy, yeah.
Maybe Dagnino, like with what you were saying, maybe if he's like, ooh,
yeah. The more I think about that, I think that's a really good strategy just to ensure you get points in the specialty division.
And I don't know. Maybe I don't mean make it like a gender thing, but maybe Shannon. I don't know. She might take her.
No, she already has Kalinowski for an IG.
That's true. My pick would probably
that's what I'm thinking. Most of the managers are gonna be thinking is like, let me get one player in Innergeekdom. Give me a couple of players for a team, and then I'll have a singles player. So I don't. Or you can draft a team and have one just be purely for the team and another one for your singles division. There's so much strategy that goes in. It will be going into drafting.
Oh yeah, and I don't know anything about fantasy football strategy. So
I think the people that play fantasy football on the regular will have an up on the people that don't.
Definitely,
because you have to think strategically, and like again, you have to pick players for the potential and not for, hey, Alex Damon has a championship, but he doesn't have a team. Let me draft him. But the opportunity doing that, yeah, you have the Star Wars title in your faction,
but now you have the potential to lose it.
But you also have less potential for more points. You draft somebody that doesn't have a Star Wars title, you have the opportunity for a number one contender match, so those points there, and then another opportunity for more points in the championship match.
Yeah.
So I think whoever takes Damon, you're losing out on, I think it's 3 points. A possible 3 points. A possible 8, whatever, however much championship matches are worth, plus the Star Wars bonus. So that's something to consider. But so Mara will, I think Rox is a good pick for Mara. I
don't know. Something else is telling me maybe Winston. I'm just thinking like personality wise.
Yeah, we got to think. Yeah, because you also got to think that if you don't meld well with your manager,
like Robert Byron Burnett with Mara, that would just be weird.
Yeah. Where do you think Chandru's gonna go?
Chandru. I feel like. Well. Because I kind of want to almost say, Sam Levine, he might see him as like a diamond in the rough. And, I'm a former big shot in the Schmoedown. Maybe I can mold him.
I think someone like Levine will have people like Rachel and Clark whispering in his ear. Sort of like unofficial advisors.
Because he has definite potential.
Yeah.
So I could maybe see Levine, saying... Oh, someone might overlook him, but I'm not gonna.
I can see Hannah going with Levine. I see Chandru just for the pure his pure personality wise. I could see him going to Chandru, or not to Jandrew.
That would be funny. Jandrew managing Chandru. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce either of their names.
But I could just pure personality wise, because Chandru is so energetic and he's
kind of goofy.
Yeah, exactly. I think he would fit with the Mouthy Mercs.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
I feel like I could see, just for the whole heel aspect, I feel like I could see Emma taking Brandon Hannah.
That's a good point too. Yeah, I can see that.
Or maybe Burnett, because Hannah has been kind of a player.
Burnett has no idea what he's doing.
Maybe, yeah.
I think it'd be hilarious if he comes on and goes, "I picked Navarro," and he's like, "Okay, cool."
Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, who else is there?
Chandru, Hannah, Navarro.
I don't know if Halafik's coming back.
I think he will, but it's just a matter of again, he's another guy that's just doing a lot of shit.
Yeah.
On in the space, because they both work for they're featured on Hyper RPG. I'm not watching as regular as I used to, but they're on the superhero show that they're on. So they're always doing something. So it's just a matter of, cause that's one thing you have to consider when you're drafting people. It's like, yeah, you can draft this person, but they're not scheduled to play anybody throughout the season. So it's like you're taking a gamble. You got to make sure that not only are they available, but does Harloff have any intentions of putting them in matches?
I mean, I imagine if he's putting them in the draft, he has an intention of putting them in matches.
All of them. I think there's a lot of players that aren't scheduled at this point, that he doesn't see them being put in matches, because he said that before. It's like not every person in the draft pool might not get an opportunity to play this season. That
does not compute in my brain. Why would we even bother putting them in the draft?
And I think I don't know, but I say this, the draft is kind of like a two-way street in my eyes, especially for divisions like Innergeekdom and Star Wars, because for the managers drafting people, it's what can you bring me point wise? What can you get me wins? Yeah. That's why I'm drafting you. But on the flip side of that, for a player to agree with to go to that faction,
it's like, what matches can you get me?
Exactly. It's like, what can you bring me? Because I've been telling managers, you draft me, I will bring you that title. It's like, because a lot like Smets, those first two losses put a really big chip on my shoulder.
They hurt.
They put a really big chip. And coming in, when I went through my audition and I got into the league, I'm like, oh fuck yeah, I'm gonna take this fucking shit by storm. Nobody gonna see me coming. First loss, okay. You gotta take your licks. I'm glad I got that first loss out of my system. Now I've tasted the sting of defeat. Let's go at it. Let's go again. Second loss, fuck me. Fuck me. I'm hungry as shit now.
Yeah.
Let's go at it. So that's what I've been telling every single manager that I've talked to. I've talked to Emma. I've talked to Kaiser, obviously. I've talked to Dagnino. I've said words on SEN to Winston. I've put it out there like, you get me, you bring me to your team, I will bring you that Star Wars title. And I think that's the kind of shit you need to say to these managers, because I think a lot, aside from a couple of like managers, like I think Emma has her eyes on the Star Wars division. People like that, Emma, Kaiser, the people that have gotten that really know the game as managers. Those are the top 3 managers in my opinion. Emma, Dagnino, Kaiser. I think they're all looking at the Star Wars division, and that's like potential for stealable points.
Maybe Jay, just because of his involvement in Innergeekdom.
Yeah,
and, it's kind of in the same lane as Star Wars.
But I think the Star Wars division is easily getting overlooked by people, and I think what's going to end up happening if none of the Star Wars competitors get drafted, they're going to look, because most likely the next Star Wars match won't be until August with Celebration, and that's just the
nature of the division.
That's the nature of the division. But I think what's going to end up happening if none of us get drafted, they're gonna fill the roster, and then the closer we get, they're gonna look at who's performed for me and drop a player.
Yeah,
and
that's a potential.
Because you can do that. Throughout the season, you can make trades, you can drop players, you can pick up people that aren't in factions. So I think that's probably that's a possibility.
That's a good point too.
But I think with 8 spots, you can have a Star Wars player just sitting on your roster and not doing anything until the next Star Wars match.
Yeah, but that's a good point. Strategically, they might wait. I didn't think of that. They might wait until it gets closer, until the next match is announced.
Guaranteed, I think if anybody in the Star Wars division gets drafted, it's Damon. I mean, just for the pure fact, like, hey, we have the Star Wars belt now. It's like, well, you didn't do much to get it.
I know. I kind of feel like it's kind of like
it's cheap.
It's kind of like a, I don't know. It's kind of it's not a shitty move. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but it's kind of like, wow, cool, got the belt, but I didn't fucking do anything to win it. I just want.
And that's the thing. Like I said before, like you have that like stigma on it, but also I think it's title matches like 3 points, and you get like a point or 2 extra for a title match. So if you don't draft somebody in the Star Wars division that doesn't have the title, you're losing out on 2 points.
But don't you also get extra points for defending a belt?
Yes.
So you get that.
But that's the same thing. If you do have Alex and he defends the title, let's say it's like 5 points for the title match plus a defense. But the person that went up against the other people to get to Damon, you already get whatever points that. So if you draft the person that ends up taking down Damon, you have the points that you got from the number 1 contender match and the title match. If you only have Damon, you only have the points you got from the title match. So I think it benefits a manager to draft somebody that's not Alex Damon.
It would, but he's obviously going to get drafted at some point.
So since we're talking so much about the Star Wars division now, let's go ahead and jump into that. So Alex Damon, we know is probably you have to say he's the most dominant champion that we've had. He's had the belt for over a year now.
Yes, he definitely has.
Because he got it at Collision, a year and a half ago?
Did he won it against Bruce Green? Is that the guy?
Yeah, so let's rewind it all the way back to
So let's rewind back to December 8th of 2017.
Let's keep going back, because the Star Wars division debuts in Orlando.
Oh, hell yeah.
At Star Wars Celebration. First champion.
Place.
First champion. Our boy.
Mr. Kenneth.
Whatever his name is. Middle name is Knapsack.
I was trying to think of something. I couldn't think of anything.
The pit boss himself, Ken Knapsack, is the first Star Wars division champion. He went a 5-way against
Steve. Oh, I'm sorry. We're talking about the Orlando event. It was Ken Campia,
Johns,
Jenny Nicholson, and Sam Witwer. And that was a really fun match.
That was a fun match. Just the atmosphere of, like, again, one of those they turned away hundreds of people, and we were two of those people.
Oh yeah, we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. That was our first celebration.
Somehow Alex got in.
Yeah, weird.
I mean, when you're
Must
friends,
be nice.
you're friends with Ken Knapsack, I think.
God.
Even Hartwell got in.
Yeah.
Being friends with the Schmoes takes you places, my friends.
Yeah, well, no, because I remember because it was our first celebration, and I remember talking to people who were trying to get into this one panel. I think it was like a Filoni panel.
Yeah, and we didn't know you had to get.
And we were like, "Oh, is this the line to get in?" And they're like, "No, dummy, we already have bracelets because we slept here last night." I'm like, "Oh, I'm the asshole again."
It's the first kind of con that we've ever kind of like officially went to. Like,
yes.
So.
Oh, yes. Well, we like
went to Dragon Con.
Yeah, but it
not
was
Dragon Con. Yeah, Dragon Con.
I think it was Dragon Con, but it was kind of like
MegaCon. Sorry, so many cons. It was
so
MegaCon.
many cons. Dragon, Mega, Comic. I don't know.
Yeah.
Potato. Am I right?
A friend of ours had a table.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
We won't go into that. But yeah, so we're there, and we just couldn't get into the Schmoedown panel because apparently the line wrapped around the building.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit. And I was like, yeah, you're not going to get in.
God, we're idiots.
Well, fuck me.
Well, I guess I'll watch it on YouTube.
But isn't it ridiculous how like the world works? 2 years ago, I couldn't, or however long that was ago, I couldn't even get into the Star Wars
we're just
debut.
crying outside.
Couldn't even get into that. Now I'm competing in the division.
It's pretty cool.
You know how crazy that is? That's so crazy. But yeah, so like, yeah, that match happens. Ken's the first champion. Then he goes up against Whitwer, and he loses the belt in an Iron Man match, which is probably still the best Star Wars match to ever be done.
Yeah. I would like to see another Iron Man style match, but I don't think it's right to do an Iron Man match for the belt.
I think it is.
I don't know. I like the idea of doing a traditional match.
And this is where I say strategy matters less in the Star Wars division, because it's really just comes down to like who's gonna fucking like whose brain is gonna fart first.
Yeah, exactly really like Scrimshaw said. He's totally right.
Yeah, because like who's the first to like forget that stupid like character or location 12th Moon of Yao? Who's the first to forget that?
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's where an Iron Man match for Star Wars makes perfect sense, because now it's just knowledge versus knowledge. Strategy matters a little bit in the very last 2 minutes, where it's basically a speed round for 2 minutes. So,
all right, I guess.
So I still think that match was awesome.
Yeah, it definitely
came down to the very last question in an Iron Man match where Sam just like buzzed in right before, and there was a little controversy with time running out, but like they didn't make the rules clear because time ran out and Els kept reading the question off, and then it buzzed in. So they didn't make it clear that even though time runs out, it's kind of like football. If the play isn't blown dead, the play still keeps going. So, but I love that match, but then of course the whole thing with Sam had to vacate the title because he couldn't compete.
He's a busy boy.
Before that it was the triple threat for the #1 contender match with
Scrimshaw, Knapsack, and Damon.
And Damon obviously comes out on top, and then Sam has to vacate the belt because he can't compete at the Collision. So then they very last minute bring in
sacrificial lamb named Bruce Green.
And the story behind that was because I think it was like the night before or something. Sam Whitworth just couldn't go. I think he had like an audition or something work related.
Yeah, he's a busy little bee.
Yeah, so he couldn't go, and so Bruce Green is his name, right?
I don't know, according to Wikipedia.
Yeah, so he goes up against Damon unprepared.
That was just upsetting.
Just
I mean, I give the man much respect for even doing it.
They couldn't find anybody else, like an IG player, to go up against him.
It was a savaging.
Yeah, and you can see it all over Alex's face.
Yeah, that I don't even like rewatching that match because number one, it's not a challenge for Alex,
and he wanted a challenge.
But number two, it's because when they do announce, and your winner, it's his face. He just looks so disappointed.
He wanted to face Whitwer, and I don't blame him.
Yeah, he does not look happy to have won the belt, and I know that he's like, it's still not mine.
Yeah,
deep down, I still didn't actually win it.
I mean, even when they announced the division. And like they started, these are gonna, because like they did a Schmoedown at the celebration in Orlando. I'm like, this would just be awesome if it was a regular division. And then they're like, we're gonna have more matches like this. I'm like, hell yeah, where do I sign up? And like the second they said that, like, you need Alex Damon from Star Wars explained in this division because he will demolish everybody. Because he does this for a living. He watches Star Wars and talks about it on YouTube. Like, and like at that point when I was following him years before that, he was doing a video every day of the week. There were like these minute-long like things that he said that he did to study for Dragon Con. And it's like, wow, you need him in this division. You need somebody like Alex Damon for this division if it's gonna be a regular thing, because he needs proven. He's demolished everybody because corruption happens for storyline purposes, and Ken gets a shot at the title again at Spectacular 3. And Ken, it's not a close match, but it's still a good match. I mean, it wasn't a knockout. It wasn't a technical knockout.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It was still a good match, and I think that was when Knapsack pretty much,
Called it.
Went to Octo in retirement with porgs.
Yeah, with the Dallas Sirens getting the milk, getting stuck in his beard.
Oh, so gross.
Yeah. So yeah, and then we get to the Fatal Five where me and Laura Kelly make our debuts. Scrimshaw comes out on top on that one, and that was rightfully so.
Yes,
I mean,
very much.
The Schmoedown's all about like story and redemption, and he came up short 2 times. He loses in the Fatal 5-0 with Whitwer. He loses in the 3-way number 1 contender match with Ken and Damon. Comes back in the Fatal 5-way and knocks out 2 me, Laura, Molly Damon, who I think should still jump back into the division. I think she not gave up. She just, I think that match gave her a sour taste in her mouth and just like, it's trivia, isn't this not for me? But I think
I think it was just, I don't know if I'm just talking on my ass here, but I think it was maybe just nerves.
Yeah, I think,
because she obviously knows her shit.
Oh no, being married to Alex Damon, you have to know. I mean, just you can speak by this. Just being married to me and just talking to me, you have to have picked up some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Future Star Wars competitor, maybe.
No. No.
Yeah, but no, I think Molly should definitely, because just overall, and there needs to be more female presence in the Star Wars division. Also, just for the league. Period. There needs to be more.
I mean, if there's a Fatal 5-way at Celebration and Christian just needs a 5th person to just get blown away, then call me up.
You can make a fight for like 3rd place, I think. By the time we're done getting ready for my next match, you'll probably be able to hold your own in a 5-way.
Maybe. I just don't want it to. I just wouldn't want it to be laughable.
No, I don't think so. Because you played along with my Fatal 5 when it aired, and we were rewatching it, and you played along. You did pretty well. You just was better than you thought you were going to do.
My knowledge of Star Wars is very interesting because through helping Andrew study for his matches, I've picked up weird knowledge. Like, I can tell you weird odds and ends facts.
You can pick out characters now. You can that character's name is this. This creature is this.
Yeah.
What's the name of the bird pecks away at something as Rey goes into Nima Outpost?
Oh no.
You know it. You told me.
The bird
that's pecking when Rey is going into
Oh yeah, no.
Nima out, You're the one that told me this.
Well, cool. It fell out of my brain.
Steelpecker.
Oh, that does sound familiar.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Those are the kind of odds and ends that you know.
Random odds and ends. But then if you're like, hey, what was this person's call sign in this one battle? And I'll be like, oh, I don't even remember that battle.
Oh yeah. So Scrimshaw goes on to face Alex at Summer Celebration, the live event, and this is the closest match that he's ever had. Like people,
Scrimshaw Damon, yeah.
Scrimshaw Damon is probably the closest match he's ever had, and people say, "Oh yeah, Laura took him the distance." I'm sorry, Laura. You're a great competitor.
Well, Scrimshaw didn't get. Did he force him to his 5-pointer?
He forced him to his 5-pointer. This is the closest match Alex has ever had.
Would you say that Scrimshaw took him further than Ken?
I think so. I think Alex only had.
We'll have to rewatch the matches.
We'll have to rewatch the match, but I think Ken was playing a lot of catch up in his match.
Yeah.
If he did force him to his 5, it was playing a lot of catch up. But I think Scrimshaw legitimately took him to his 5-pointer.
I think so.
So yeah.
That was a really good match.
That was a very good match, and I remember playing along with that. And I told Christian as much because he, in the peek backstage when we were doing our promo for my match with Laura Kelly. Excuse me, sorry. He's like, yes, mention something about like you're in the crowd for the Chicago match, and he what? What is that? We'll cut this out. Or we'll leave it in for comedic relief. What?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm gassy. I'm sorry. I got a lot of burps in me.
Got a burpy baby over here.
Sorry. Anyways, but so Harloff, it just tickles her. I'm sorry. Okay, so
continue.
So Harloff said like, all right, so say something to the effect of like, you're sitting there in the Chicago match saying, yeah, that should have been me up there. I can't believe I didn't win that. Something to that effect. I'm like, to be honest, I'm glad I didn't go up against Damon that night.
Yeah.
Because I said I was not prepared. Because I played along, I missed like something like 3 to 4 questions. And like I can remember it was like the Aravana, Profundity, Dangier, which all of us missed. And something else I can't remember. But I missed a lot.
Profundity?
Yeah, I said Profundity.
Oh.
Yeah, but there's a couple others that I missed then, and I came out of that watching that match like I'm glad. I'm glad Scrimshaw got his title shot. 2,
and also
2, I was not prepared for Alex that night, but I am now. So,
oh shit,
pay attention,
get
managers.
up, boy,
get up,
get it.
So he beats Scrimshaw, and then me and Laura have a number 1 contender match. Laura beats me by when I miss my 5-pointer, and she goes on to face Alex, and she avoids a technical knockout because Alex only has to answer 1 question.
Yeah, it's 2-pointer.
Yeah, and so yeah, that's the rise to Alex's
the rise of
Damon.
The
reign of Damon, I should say, because he's had that belt for so long. He's had it for so long. Harloff let him take it home.
Yeah,
it's like, I don't know who's gonna beat you, so you might as well just keep it.
Well, and also it's just he's gone for so long with it, and he's defended it how many times?
3 times.
3 times. And everyone, he's the most dominant champion. He's invincible. No one's going to take him down, blah, 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 blah. If the Schmoedown has shown us anything, nobody's invincible.
Yeah.
And I think that it does make for a great storyline. He's going to have a day, right? He's going to have a day, one day, that he gets that 12th Mooney out question. The day is got to be coming because nobody's invincible. We've seen it.
Yeah.
We've seen like Dan Murrell, John Roca, 2 of the most amazing dominant players in the league. They've had their falls and they've fallen hard. But then they come back.
Ben Murrell especially, losing the guy.
Exactly. Like no one is invincible, and so I just think it makes for a pretty good storyline that who knows, maybe 2020 is the year.
Yeah.
That
so
Alex, something happens.
Who do you think? I mean, I can't be like I'm not obviously not the one to like answer this question because I'm obviously going to pick myself. Like, who do you think could take Damon down? Obviously,
me.
Obviously, I have to say myself. When you look at and this is where I say records mean nothing in the Star Wars division, because all you have to do is prove you know your stuff, get 1 win, and then you get a title shot. So records really don't mean anything. An 0-2 record in any other division is like you have to rattle off maybe 3 or 4 more wins to get a title shot. Star Wars division, you don't got to do that. So taking me out of the equation, or just give your honest opinion. Who do you think can take down Damon?
Well, let's look at our options. The only options in the Star Wars League would be you, Laura, Kelly. Did we not hear Christian on SEN say that Molly was going to be in the draft?
Molly is in the draft.
So, and I don't know, I guess I'm going to make a bet that she'll go into Star Wars League, right?
Yeah.
So we've got you, Laura, Scrimshaw, Molly.
Ken is apparently
Ken Knapsack, I would assume he's coming back to Star Wars and not singles or teams or Innergeekdom. I feel like odds are high that he's going to go back into Star Wars. I don't know that Andy Blanchard is in the draft, or would he want to be? I don't know.
Andy's kind of the one I think like he just kind of
did it for fun.
Did for fun, yeah. They needed a 5th, so.
Bruce Green, no, he's probably not coming back. So I would say
that's how small the division is.
6 people counting Damon.
Yeah.
So I would probably say Ken's been out of it for a while. I would say, I mean, I know I'm kind of biased or whatever, but I would say, man, because
we're not going to see, if anything, if we do get a match, highly doubtful we do get a match in Star Wars before Celebration.
Probably not.
But if we do get to see that, Laura, it won't be Laura in that match.
Because she already had her title shot.
She had her title shot and she lost.
So we're talking the 5-way in Anaheim. She probably won't be in it.
No,
if it's
she will, because
contender.
there'll be enough time has passed. Because for anybody that loses at a title match, you got to wait and get your shots back. So you can't just immediately go back for a number one contender match, unless it's at Celebration of 5-way.
Do we think there's any chance that Campy is in the draft for Star Wars?
Ooh, that is interesting because I think so. I think there's a slight possibility.
I bet Christian's got it up his sleeve.
I don't follow him as much anymore, if at all, since he left Collider. But I wouldn't put it past Harloff to put him in.
Yeah.
But even so, if that's the case, he's been gone.
He's been gone for a long
time. And for you to jump back into and just say, like, yeah, I'm going to take the belt, for any division, you don't do that. Especially the Star Wars division. When any of those 5 people you mentioned can hold the belt at any given time, you can't just jump in like, all right, I'm here to go. I've been gonna for 2 years. I'm gonna take the belt. You don't do that.
No, not in Star Wars.
It's not in Star Wars. Star Wars, you'll have to prove yourself first.
Yeah.
In a fatal 5-way, and even so, I think out of all those 5 people that mentioned, 3 of them can knock him out in a head-to-head.
I feel like if. I mean, because my obvious answer is you. Duh. But I feel like you, Scrimshaw, and Laura probably have
the biggest shot.
That's because, Laura just had her title shot. She's probably still warm. Mm-hmm. Scrimshaw, he's incredibly knowledgeable.
And he took Alex the furthest.
And he had a shot at the belt too. You are a bit of not a wild card, but you're still kind of an unknown just because no one's seen you go against Damon yet.
Yeah, and people, again, it's like, what have you done for me lately? People are just going to look at my record at face value and be like, he's got 2 losses. Why is he competing anymore? It's like, well, you look at my matches. My first match, I lost by 2 points.
Yeah.
I can't remember the final score, but the reason I lost my last match was because of a ridiculous 5-point question.
That even Alex Damon didn't know.
Even Alex Damon didn't know. Yeah, so you look at my record face value, it's like he has no shot at the title. But you look at my matches closer and examine them, it's like they've both been last points, last question.
Yeah.
So.
Well, because even Alex said, if he would have been in your shoes against Laura, he would have lost too, because it all came down to that 5-point question with Clone Wars. So. But, I mean, your casual fan is just looking at it like, well, he lost.
Yeah.
He's out of it.
Yeah. And that's why I'm glad casual fans aren't drafting.
Yeah, I guess. But I feel like Ken probably has a lot of, cobwebs to clear out and dust and rust to shake off.
Being a host of a Star Wars podcast and a Star Wars show on Collider,
that's true.
He talks about Star Wars on the regular. He just got finished writing a Star Wars book. So,
yeah, I guess he's probably fresh in his mind.
He has a leg up over somebody like Campia, who's coming in extremely cold.
Yeah.
If he even comes back to the league, so yeah, I would agree that either me, Laura, or Scrimshaw have the best shot at taking Damon down.
I think
or somebody new that we haven't even seen.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe some Dragon Con person. Or is that what it's called?
Yeah, Dragon Con.
Maybe one of those people will come in. Yeah. Whoever was.
I mean, Alex knows him on a first name basis, so he can suggest people.
And we'll see. Who knows if Molly's back in the thing? Yeah. She might.
She's better than she thinks she is.
I'm sure she is.
That 5-way match doesn't.
I don't think it was indicative of her.
No.
Capabilities.
Yeah, no. I think she should give it another shot. Because I think not only the division, the division needs more competitors, because people keep forgetting that the Star Wars division used to be, or not Star Wars, the Innergeekdom division used to be exactly like the Star Wars division. They would hold a fatal 5-way, and the first person that won that was the IG champ. And then they'd have another 5-way the next year. The winner of that faced the champ. So the Innergeekdom division used to almost be exactly like the Star Wars division. We just need more players.
And then our Lord and Savior Mike Kalinowski came in and expanded.
So yeah, but if we don't get more competitors and Harloff gives in to the fans and we're not going to make Star Wars a division anymore.
Oh, that would be sad.
That would be sad. I don't think he's going to do it because huge Star Wars fan. It's his baby. He's going to do what he wants with it.
Yeah.
But the idea that I mentioned, I floated this to you before, something that I think something like a specialized to Star Wars that they can really do is do a Star Wars Cup every year. It'd be an 8-person tournament, The winner is the Star Wars champ for that year. It's kind of like the Super Bowl, basically. You have a different title holder every year. Basically, whoever wins it is the title, the champ of that season. So you
so it doesn't like carry over.
Yeah, so say like they did the tournament in 2020. It's like inaugural Star Wars Cup. So
called the Boon to Eve Classic.
that'd be pretty cool. And then like so, say I go on or Alex goes on to win. He's the 2020 Star Wars Cup champion. Then he's got to do it all over again the next season. And based off of your performance in the previous tournament is where you get seeded for the next tournament. And you can go as so far as like, hey, you have a third. It's like usually how like World Cups go. They'll have like the semifinalists will go up against each other, and so then the finals will go up against each other, and the loser of the finals is second place, and you have a match between the two semifinal losers for third place, and you can do that at Star Wars Celebration. That would be pretty cool.
That's interesting.
So, I mean, that's something to suggest if Harloff ever wants to take away the Star Wars division, which I don't think he will. I don't think he should.
I hope he doesn't.
Because regardless of how few Star Wars matches we get a year, they're some of the best matches you will ever watch in the Schmoedown. Yeah. Just because of how competitive they are and how competitive the division is.
Yeah, I mean, people watch them and they just marvel at like,
shit, how did they know?
How did Alex know how many horns are on Darth Maul's head?
It's not that hard. You just count them. Pause the video and count them. It's not that hard. Yeah. I think it's just a matter of like, why are they asking that question? Basically, people don't think of to watch the movie and take that note and say, yeah, he has 10 horns, and put that in your memory bank.
Yeah, the Star Wars division is more a spectacle, in my opinion, because it's just like, how in the fuck, why would you know that?
Yeah, why would you want to memorize that?
Exactly. It's more of a spectacle, in my opinion, although I am still stupefied that people in singles know the shit that they know about the amount of movies they know.
Yeah, people all the time, like it's like Bateman's told this to me. I think Merle has said this to me. Roca has said this to me. He's like, I have no idea how you guys...
Oh, Rachel did too.
Rachel, yeah. She's like, I have no idea how you, one, retain this in your head, and two, be able to like just, recall it so quickly.
Yeah, well, same to you. There's like 800 bazillion million movies in the world that they at any given point can answer a question about.
And I think it's just, the singles division is sort of like, and we talked to Chandra about this too. Innergeekdom's kind of the same way. He said like, Star Wars division, you have to commit things to memory. You have to study. You have to do all this extra research.
Yeah.
In Innergeekdom, he said, as long as you watch the movie and take note of like major characters, you're good.
I don't know if I go that far, but okay.
For the most part, he said.
Yeah.
Because like when you get up there with like number one contender matches and title matches, then you have to start doing research and like taking deeper notes. But to compete in the division, not to go for a title, he said, as long as you watch the movies and basically know like who directed it and who acted in it, you're good.
I don't know.
And you can't do that in the Star Wars division. I think that's the way it is for the singles division.
I'm an example of how that's not true. Ask me about Iron Man 3. What happened in that movie? The Mandarin, the Mandarin, the TV show.
The Mandolin?
The Mandarin has a TV show, and he talks to people on it. And then there's a guy, and he has fire in him and stuff. And the Mandarin actually is a good guy, and there's another bad guy behind him using him as a puppet. And Pepper gets a suit. Iron Man 3, directed by Jon Favreau.
No.
Right?
God, who did direct Iron Man 3? Wow. This is why I can't compete in Innergeekdom.
Maybe it was David Fincher.
Nikki, who's David Fincher?
He was Doctor Who. Wow. I should have my own show where it's like I do 60-second movie reviews.
Maybe.
I'll be pretty.
It could be a segment on the YouTube channel.
Because I'm pretty sure I just boxed up Iron Man 3 in a neat little package with a bow on top. So you're welcome.
Sure. Okay, but anyway, let's get back to Star Wars discussion for the division. Obviously, our top three people that could take on Damon or take down Damon.
You, Scrimshaw, Laura.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But obviously, everybody's talked this to death. They want that dream match.
Oh my God, I'm so tired of hearing about this.
Damon versus Whitwer.
I'm so tired of it.
Whitwer technically never lost the title.
True.
He had to vacate it, and that's fair.
He's a busy little bee.
Exactly. He's one of these competitors that's in the division that is not only a working actor, but a successful working actor.
Yes. He's Darth Maul for crying out loud.
He's Darth Maul. He works on Supergirl, I think, and
Yeah, I think so.
and he has and obviously has other projects that he's working on that he can't talk about right now.
Yeah,
he's busy, and people are like, "Well, no, I know he's busy. Just bring him back for one match." And it's like, okay, it's not the matter of that one match. If you bring him back, he has to commit because say he does win the belt back, now he has to defend it. If he wins that belt back from
he's got to
Damon,
vacate it again.
He's got to vacate it again. Now we're back to square one. It's like, oh, so you just got you got the match you wanted, but now we're back to square one.
But I guess the argument that people would make is, oh, then don't make it a title match. Just make it an exhibition.
Then why have it?
Because everyone's just jerking off to the idea of
so
having it.
Say we do have that match. I'm going on record. I've said this in other shows before.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, get ready. It's about to get spicy and hot take is coming your way.
Big hot take. Damon will Damon will destroy Whitworth.
Oh my God.
I don't think in the way the Star Wars division is now with people like obviously Damon, Kelly, me,
said it.
Scrimshaw, Ken's coming back. The way the division is now, Whitworth can't compete in this division.
Oh my God, spicy.
I don't think he has what it because what you think? Do you think this as well? Like, do you think he has what it takes to not only not take down Damon, but compete in the division?
I agree to an extent because when it's been a couple years, right, since Whitworth's competed, the Star Wars division has grown. I don't know. I'd say
the Star Wars division has evolved.
It's evolved.
It's evolved.
Cheeks poke. Oh, me Coke.
Here's a Sprite. This is why I've been burping.
Oh, I will take that.
But like, yeah, the Schmoedown itself has evolved.
Go on.
So the Schmoedown itself has evolved into this gigantic monster. Like, people play the game differently now.
Yeah.
The Star Wars division has evolved the fastest because of the competitors.
Because it's had to. Because this is one of the reason it's evolved is related to why. Because there's a lot of people in the Schmoedown fandom that are like, there shouldn't be a Star Wars division. If there's a Star Wars division, why don't we have a Harry Potter division? Why don't we have a Pixar division? Herp, derp, derp. And it's because their argument is, oh, well, there's only X amount of movies that you can choose from. We're gonna run out of questions, you know. And okay, you know what? Can't argue the fact that there is a set amount of movies because facts.
Yeah.
But wow, I don't even know where I was going with that. What just happened? The fact that it evolved. No, I think I'm back on track. Okay. So it started out with, I don't know. I mean, it didn't start out super easy, but it started out like...
For me, it was...
hey, man, who's Luke's dad?
Yeah.
And then here we are. Because the nature of the beast is that because there is a set amount of movies and it's a limited amount of movies... your questions are going to get harder exponentially quicker than they are going to in Innergeekdom or singles or teams.
Yeah.
It's the nature of the beast. You have to get deeper, especially with Alex as your champ.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a different division than it was the last time Sam competed.
Yeah.
I would love to see how
I would.
But I don't know that he would be as untouchable as people remember him to be.
Yeah, because this is why I argue that I don't think Whitworth has what it takes. Not that he doesn't have what it takes.
Shit.
I just don't think he'd be as competitive as people think he will be.
Yeah.
So one, obviously the division has evolved dramatically. Two, watching his matches, because I rewatch the Star Wars matches now, I study the opponent. I look at where their strengths and weaknesses lie. His strength comes from watching the movies
and being a voice actor and knowing quotes.
Yeah, knowing quotes, knowing that. So it's his memory and his knowledge base is from watching the movies over and over and over. That's where my knowledge started. But now the division is so competitive. The questions are getting exponentially harder.
And just watching the movies is not enough.
Watching the movies is not enough. You have to go deeper in, and that's the nature of the division now. People outside of the division, like, yeah, you have to do that now. You can't just watch the movies and win the championship anymore. You have to do that extra research. You have to go, that character looks interesting. What's his name?
Yeah.
Hey, they mentioned this speeder. What's the speeder's full name? This shit like that you got to do now. And I don't think Sam, A, has the time to do that, and
or
B, cares to do that. Exactly. So that's that's my hot take is that's the sole reason why I don't think Sam, if he does go up against Damon, he might put up a fight, but it won't go 5 rounds out.
Hot take, fresh out the oven for you.
That's just what I think. I mean, would I like to see Whitworth go up against Damon
Of
in an Iron Man?
course.
Of course. I've wanted that since Alex won his number one contender match against Ken and Joseph.
It would just be like closure.
Yeah.
You know, because Sam never actually defended the belt. He
Yeah.
just had to give it up. It would
I
it would
just-
be closure.
Yeah, I just don't think it's gonna happen.
I don't think. I mean, who knows? He might.
It would be an awesome storyline for the Schmoedown, but
I saw somebody in a YouTube comment or something somewhere. They're like, "Oh, well, the Schmoedown's going to Atlanta in what, February?
yes,
Oh, well, just tell Whitworth one day. Just commit one day to face Alex in Atlanta."
and then you got to fly him out, and I don't think Sam Witwer's cheap. He's gonna want first class.
He's got that Darth Maul money.
He's got that Darth Maul Star Wars money, baby. But yeah, I mean, the Atlanta live event, it may or may not be a Star Wars match.
I feel like it won't be, although it would be.
It'd be really
your,
fun.
Your champ lives there,
Yeah,
so
I mean, you have your champ defend the title in his hometown.
the only thing is that you can't. I mean, you can't really. It's December. What? Where the hell are we? December 21st.
I mean,
The day that we're recording this is
Yeah.
December 21st.
Merry Christmas.
Sorry to pull back the curtain there. Oh boy, how embarrassing!
That's what the show is all about, pulling back the curtain on the Schmoedown.
So it's not really gonna. You can't really have him defend his belt because it's December 21st. That event is happening in February. You'd have to have a number one contender.
It's end of February. You can theoretically get a number one contender match at the end of January, and then have that.
But you could.
That's
I just don't think they're gonna
yeah.
do that much of a rush.
For me, that's just wishful thinking because I want, like me, I'm impatient. I want to get back in so badly, and like
I know.
yeah, it's like I'm almost to the point where I want to, like, when we see Christian in January, like I'll do whatever it takes to take on Damon in February. You can put me up against anybody.
I just don't think it's gonna happen.
I just don't think it's gonna happen.
It's
just
too short notice.
I mean, Ken said he wants to jump back, so I think it'd be fun at end of January to have a triple threat: me, Ken, and Joseph, number one contender. Winner faces Damon in February. That would be pretty cool.
yeah, but end of January they're gonna be in New York.
Is it?
January 25th, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So
I'll have it before then. Or yeah, no, that's just me wishful thinking, but it's very unlikely it'll happen.
Yeah, I don't think
I'm
it's
just have to
gonna
be
happen.
patient and wait until August,
we'll see. Who knows?
or unless we have it after February or somewhere before Collision, and then have a title shot at Collision.
When does Collision usually happen? June?
June, somewhere around there.
Yeah, like a summer event.
Yeah, I mean that could happen as well, but I
That's
think
more probable than in
yeah,
February.
it's just a combination of limited amount of movies, limited amount of competitors. That's why we only have 2 matches of Star Wars a year. So
Yeah.
that's the nature of it. But
I feel like if they did have an exhibition match between Alex and Whitwer with no title on the line, that would be the perfect time to do it.
It would be
Is
fun.
in that Atlanta match.
yeah.
But I don't know. Whitwer's a busy
I think
guy.
yeah, he's busy. I don't think it would be as close as people think it will be.
And it would be pretty cool if, Celebration comes around and it's like, oh man, who's the 5th competitor? We don't. They play that same fucking. Oh, is John Roca too sick to be here? Oh, I don't fucking know. Imagine if at Celebration it was like, oh, I don't know, we were supposed to have a fatal 5-way, but I can't find a 5th. And then Whitwer walks into the room. That'd be pretty sweet.
That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah. I've been like, well, Christian, I would have done it, but
I think, again, I've said this before, it's easier to compete in a 5-way than it is a singles. Maybe that's the way you get him back into it.
maybe.
Yeah.
But I feel like the 5-way in Celebration is probably going to be you, Laura, maybe Scrimshaw if he's available.
Yeah, he's going to be there anyways.
Maybe Kenny Boy,
I can see that.
Kenneth Maboogie Knapsack,
And then Molly.
and maybe Molly, maybe Cambia.
I can see that. Maybe you. You'll be an alternate.
I'll be an alternate. If they
By
can't
the
get
time-
Whitwer, I guess I'll do it.
I think, honestly, I think by the time Celebration rolls around, and we've been studying, because we've already started studying. We
Yes, I watched the Clone Wars today.
12 Moon of Yout.
I haven't gotten to that point yet. I don't know where it is.
Oh, it's when Zero the Head comes in.
I have not gotten that. Oh, Zero is the one who talks. Yeah, that one. He talks like he's from.
rich with this.
Yeah, yeah.
God.
He's got like fucking Mardi Gras beads on or
Yes.
something.
Yeah.
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 God, that movie sucks.
It's gotten better the more I've watched it.
Haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah.
They just gave the little Hutlet some medication, make him feel better. So that's
Give Stinky
that's
a medicine.
where I
Make him
am.
feel better.
God.
Yeah, but I think by the time that rolls around, and the amount that we're going to be studying, I think you'll retain as much information as you need to compete in a 5-way.
I'll be on the bench. Christian, call me if you can't find a fifth, and then maybe I'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what I think. But yeah, so let's look at the competitors in the Star Wars division and see, like, if they get drafted, where do you think they will go?
All right, let's see. Well, Alex, obviously, I don't know. Like you said, I don't know if you guys are gonna go.
We're not. We're gonna all. If we all of us go, it will be in the later rounds, and it probably won't be televised rounds either.
Alex. Let's see. We got Sam J, Roxy, Coy, Kaiser. I don't think. I don't know. Maybe if Dagnino has the chance and he's just feeling, prickly, he might just take it because that just guarantees him another belt on his shoulder.
I can see Alex going to the 5 Club.
Alex is not a heel, but I don't know. Who knows? Maybe.
But he's very friendly with Emma. I mean, they text back and forth. While Star Wars matches are going on, so I can see him going to the 5 Club.
Yeah. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I just don't see him going to a faction that's more heelish.
That's true.
Maybe Jay, because he's kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to say.
Because
we've never seen Alex associated with anybody before.
Yeah, and that's what makes it unique, because like he never joined a faction, and then the hard part about it, like especially for I think all the Star Wars competitors except for Ken and Scrimshaw, we're all over the place. Laura's in Chicago, Alex is in Atlanta, we're here in Orlando, so it's like one of those like where we never really got an opportunity to be part of a faction because we live so far away, and our involvement in the show period is very limited. So I could see him go to Dagnito's team just to get that title.
I mean, he's already got 3 belts. Why not just give yourself a shoe in for another one?
Yeah. He's obviously gonna be the first one. If any of us get drafted, he'll be the first one to go.
Yeah, I mean, it would be hard to say that someone's not going to draft a champion, even though it's kind of a, kind of move.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's a shitty move. It's a shady move to get a champion that way.
A shitty and shady wouldn't be they're not the right words. I just can't think of the word I mean.
Underwhelming, maybe?
Yeah, it's just kind of like.
I think cheap is the
cheap.
It's a cheap move.
It's just kind of like. I don't feel like putting in the effort. Just give me the one that already has a belt. I don't know. I'm just tired.
Yeah. So where do you think Laura will go, since she's the last one to have competed for the title?
I could see. I feel bad because we haven't mentioned like Coy at all.
Well, yeah.
But Laura, I could see maybe Shannon.
Yeah.
Shannon going for her.
I can see her going to Jay, because they share the Chicago. They're both from Chicago.
That's true.
I can see that.
Jay might take her because of that Chicago connection. What about Scrimshaw?
Ooh, that's an interesting one, because again, he has very little involvement in the show.
Jay again, because they have the stand-up comedian.
That's true too.
Bond.
I could see him going to maybe Winston. Winston is sneaky.
Does Winston do? I mean, just out of curiosity,
I think he does.
Winston do stand-up?
I think he has experience in stand-up and as a comedic actor, so I can see him going to Winston.
I don't know why, but I kind of almost think that Burnett might be funny with him.
That's true too. Yeah.
I don't know. That would be an interesting pair.
Yeah.
Because Scrimshaw is hilarious, like dryly hilarious, and Burnett is just so over the top that I think they might actually.
Ken is obviously going to be going to the 5 Club because of
with Grace.
Yeah, he's obviously going to the 5 Club.
That's also if someone else doesn't nab him up first. Who knows?
Yeah.
Because somebody might snatch him up and be like, "No, fuck you guys, I'm taking him. I know you want him, so I'm gonna take him." But I mean, in a perfect world, if everyone gets who they want, Ken's probably gonna go to the 5 Club.
Yeah, and then me.
Where if I had my choice, I'd have either Dagnino or Kaiser draft you.
It's probably gonna be Kaiser though.
If I had my choice,
I think it's gonna be Kaiser. Just kind of because I've been talking to Smets, and we've been saying, we're going to take this whole league by storm. Let's do it, the dungeon. So he's obviously been talking to Kaiser. So
That'd be pretty cool.
If not, because I've also talked to Dagnito about it. I've talked to Emma about it. I've mentioned it to Winston on SEN through the comments and super chat. So I'm on the radar for some people more than others. But I think again, you draft for potential, and I think I have some amazing potential to do it.
Yeah, out of the current pool of Star Wars people, you're the only one that we haven't seen go against Damon, so there's still that unknown factor there.
Yeah, and like I mentioned in the last episode, I played along with the Star Wars title match. I missed one question, so I would have taken Alex to his 5-pointer.
Yes,
and that was missing the question without the choice of multiple choice.
And also, just to throw it out there, you're also not actively studying right now.
Yeah,
too,
that was me not in match shape. So I was. After my match, I was exhausted from just studying all the time, so I took a break because I wasn't going to be competing. So I was like, yeah, I have all this other thing. I still haven't gotten to Stranger Things. I just finished Man in High Castle. I started with The Witcher, and I finished The Expanse. So I'm enjoying myself, not having to study, just watching things that I've been missing out on. But now that the New Year's coming. 2020.
New year, new me.
New year,
Let's
new
study Star Wars.
Studying Star Wars.
New Year's resolution. Star Wars belt.
Star Wars belt. I actually did. I have a list of things that I have that I want to accomplish, and I might as well share it with everybody.
Yeah, I was like, hey, Andrew, you got some New Year's resolutions? Maybe we do something with fitness, or maybe we do something with I don't know, trying new recipes, or I don't know, let's do some fucking gardening in the backyard. And he's like, yeah, I got resolutions. I'm gonna get that belt. I'm gonna take them all down, and I'm gonna fuck them all up. Like, okay.
That's pretty much it in a nutshell. No, but like I actually have this like thing on my computer where I can like type stuff on my background on my desktop, and I have like 5 things, and it's win my first match, win the title, win entrance of the year, win comeback player of the year, win IG Star Wars Player of the Year. Those are the 5 things I want to accomplish next season. And if I do go on that run and get the title from Damon, I have a strong argument for all 5 of those. Well, minus entrance of the year. But
we already have.
We got something great planned.
We already have something pretty cool planned up.
Great planned. But yeah, those are the 5 things minus the entrance of the year. If I win that title, I would say I have a strong argument for all 4 of those things. Mm-hmm. Because first to take down Damon, go from an 0-2 start to winning the title.
Comeback kid.
Comeback play. I think that would be cool to see. But anyways, I think that's it. I mean, we've talked about everything. I mean, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. I don't know how long we've been jabbering, but it's been longer than I expected.
I'm not surprised.
I mean, I've always like, oh man, we'll make these episodes like maybe 30 minutes long. I think
like 20, 30 minutes.
I think we went over an hour again.
Nice and brief.
But thank you for joining us for the second episode of Beyond the Schmoedown. Nicki Dimalanta, where can they find you online?
I'm on Twitter at Dimmy, DIMMMYYY.
Yeah, that's right. Follow her for all the shenanigans she does. She's very funny. Very funny online, I think. Josh said you were very funny.
Oh.
Josh McGuga, what's up? As for me, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Drew Dimalanta, DIMALANTA. Follow me on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, please. This is where you can find the podcast there as well as a bunch of Star Wars videos, a bunch of other stuff as well. Rise of Skywalker review just went up last night, as the day we're recording this. So go ahead and see my full thoughts. My thoughts have changed because I went to go see it again this morning, so my thoughts have changed on it a bit. I'll get into that in my spoiler discussion. Will be coming out next weekend. And also follow this. If you do follow us on YouTube, give us a video a like, share, and follow us on all the places you find the podcasts.
And if you want to hear me give 30 or 60-second movie reviews, comment below, give me a like, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. You let me know.
Well, once again, everybody, thank you for joining us on the second episode of Beyond the Schmoedown, and we will see you next
time.
Monday. We got to think of a closer.
Oh, God. I'm very good.
Maybe that'll be it. See you next week, guys.